The chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan is drawing increasing criticism from veterans of the war on terror, and that was before today's deadly bombings in Kabul. Let's bring in someone with a unique position to address the concerns of former military, former Navy lieutenant commander and pilot, Republican Congressman from California, Mike Garcia. Congressman, great to have you with us.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for having me.
One of the things that we keep trying to figure out is this decision to get rid of Bagram or to leave it undefended. I want to read something from Andy McCarthy writing in National Review. He says this: by not just slashing the in-country troop presence, but surrendering Bagram, and in a consciously chaotic and sneaky way that deprived the Afghan forces an orderly transfer at a time when they were under siege and steadily losing their U.S. dependent capacity to function, the Biden administration guaranteed that there would be no turning back from the decision to pull out. No matter how bad things got, U.S. commanders would have no military options. As somebody who knows firsthand how critical it is to have places to land your planes, to take off, what do you make of this decision about Bagram?
This is the linchpin that caused things to fall apart. There's no doubt. There was a lot of errors made, the pulling out of military personnel before civilians and our Afghan allies, the leaving behind of military equipment, significant military equipment without a proper turnover to our Afghan partners. But leaving Bagram Airfield in the dead of the night, I think about 2 a.m, without really notifying our partners there within the Afghan government, as well as the folks on the ground, that will prove out to be one of the most critical mistakes. And it's actually tied, in my opinion, to the absolute most critical causal factor to all of this. And this is that the president decided early on that this was going to be a diplomatic mission instead of a military operation. He allowed the Department of State to run this operation with support from the Department of Defense and Secretary Austin, rather than the other way around. So when you come at it from that mindset, you start thinking of things like, well, I don't want too many troops on that airfield to secure it and hold it for long enough. And I got a feeling that this president gave orders or gave a dictate that said basically, hey, look, I don't want a certain number of troops in Bagram. And when that was communicated, the Department of Defense and Secretary Austin said, look, with that few number of troops, we can't hold Bagram. At that point, I think the Department of State and Biden decided that they didn't need Bagram and that they can proceed with this mission. He keeps referring to it as a mission, and it's absolutely got the wrong mission statement as a result. And we've obviously got the terrible strategy and tactics that fall out from there. So this is a mistake of colossal magnitude, but Bagram is going to be one of the most causal factors in this as we look at the forensics.
Yeah, and it feels like a bitter, devastating pill to swallow today with the loss of these service members and many, many other people, Afghan civilians, dozens more wounded. With that in mind, is it possible, you think, you talk about how this has been set up with the State Department and more of a diplomatic effort, will this administration potentially pivot? Do you think that there are those close to the president or him watching how this is playing out with his own eyes who will say, all right, we can correct course, we can make better of a bad situation at this point?
No, he's not listening to anyone. I'm a part of the 4-Country Caucus, which is a bipartisan group of about 25 veterans who've served, most of us in the Middle East, at Iraq and Afghanistan, basically pleading with him to revoke the 8/31 date, but also to change the mission from one of getting as many Americans out to getting all Americans and their families out, as well as our Afghan allies. And it's not glib to say we've got to keep reminding this president that it's not good enough to not only just get all Americans out, but we have to get all Americans out alive. And at this point, this is a very serious problem. It's going to get worse over the next few days before it gets better. As we approach 8/31, the chaos will become at even higher levels. There will be pandemonium, fear, and panic in the streets. And there's only going to be so much that we can do and that our military personnel can do. Again, this is an operation being run by the State Department. What we need to be doing right now is reasserting our dominance, reestablishing our dominance, and then reasserting our dominance. Not only troops in the area outside of the airfield, but also giving them the weapons and the tools. You'll notice there's no heavy machinery. There's not a lot of weaponry. There's not the sound of aircraft overhead giving close air support. There's not the hum of UAVs and MQ-9 Predator Reapers overhead that there should be. We need to have a strong presence here and redefine this mission as get all Americans home alive. And until we do that, and unfortunately this president isn't listening to rational people, and he's certainly not listening to folks that he should be, Unfortunately, we are doomed to fail here if that's not the case.
Got to be our priority. Congressman Garcia, and a veteran as well, thank you very much for your service and for your time tonight, sir.
Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate it.